Lenovo A2010 is the latest budget smartphone from Lenovo and is also the cheapest 4G capable handset in the subcontinent with a price tag of $4,999 and is available exclusively through Flipkart. Talking about the specs, it sports a 4.5-inch FWVGA twisted pneumatic IPS display, 64-bit MediaTek MT6735 processor clocked at 1 GHz, 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of internal memory, 5 megapixel fixed focus primary camera with LED flash, 2 megapixel front-facing camera, 2000 mAh battery, and dual micro SIM with 4G LTE connectivity. Coming to the design aspect, the Lenovo 2010 comes with a full plastic build with a thickness of 9.9 mm. So it's definitely not that thin, but due to the 4.5-inch display size, it feels very comfortable to hold in hand. On the front panel, it sports a 4.5-inch twisted pneumatic display with 2 megapixel front-facing camera and an earpiece on the top, while the 3 capacitive buttons are placed on the bottom. The USB 2.0 and the 3.5mm audio port is placed on the top, while the voice reception mic is placed at the bottom. The lock and lock key and the volume rockers are placed on the right hand side, whereas the left hand side is left completely blank. The back panel has given a non-glossy matte finish which resists fingerprints and houses a 5 megapixel fixed focus primary camera with LED flash and speaker grill at the bottom. Under the back cover, we could find 2 SIM card slots which can accommodate micro SIM cards and a micro SD card slot which is expandable up to 32 GB. The battery provided with the device is a 2000 mAh removable battery which should be enough for a 4.5-inch display device. So guys, that's pretty much about the design aspect of the Lenovo A2010, and the only thing that I would like to say as a negative is that they have not provided any Gorilla Glass 3 protection or any other type of scratch resistant guard on this device, but they have provided a screen guard on the top of the device which may help you for some time, but after that you have to either use another screen guard or you have to depend on a tempered glass. So they have not provided a Gorilla Glass 3 protection. That's the only demerit that you could find. Otherwise the device is very good in design. It has got a very nice curved edges which feels really great in holding in hand, and even if it's having 9.9 mm thickness, the device feels really compact. And so now let's move on to the full review of the Lenovo A2010. And you can see this is the lock screen of the device, and it looks very similar to the usual Vibe UI lock screen. And they can also see that there is 2 shortcuts provided at the bottom. One is for dialer and another is for camera, so you can just directly drag it and get to the camera application. So you can see it's very simple. So that's it about the UI. I could see it's very similar to the usual Vibe UI that they have provided in the high-end devices. The same UI but a lighter version of that. So let me just go into the settings and show you which is the Android version of the device. So let me just go into about phone, and you can see it does support it actually runs on Android 5.1 Lollipop, which is the latest Android version currently available. So that's nice. And let's go into the phone and let me show you the features there. This is actually the dialer, and you don't have any option for video calling. So that's the same with all Vibe UI. They don't provide an option for video calling. So let's go into the messaging application. So you could see this is the messaging application, and it does support Swift key, and there is no issues and no delay in the keypad. It's very fast and smooth. There is no issues in there. So that's it. So let's go back and check out the drop-down menu of the device. So let me just go into the drop-down menu. So you can see this is the drop-down menu, and it is also a customized version of the Android 5.1 Lollipop. It is not stock Android, and they have provided shortcuts like the Wi-Fi, data connection, audio profile, the timeout, the screenshot, location, auto rotate, Bluetooth, and airplane mode. There is also an option for adjusting the brightness, but they have not provided any option for auto brightness setting. That means the device doesn't have the auto brightness, that means ambient light sensor. So you can also see the app permission management system is on this device, which is totally awesome. And this is actually a feature that you could see in the OnePlus 2. This is actually a futuristic facility provided by the Android M. You can actually manage the permissions granted for the apps from here. So you can actually get into each and every app, and you can always check out which type of content they could access. So these are the features that you could see in the future devices, but they have provided
those kind of features in a budget device, which is totally awesome. So you can actually adjust the app permission on this device, which is great. And you can also see the screenshot facility available right here from the drop-down menu. So if you just tap on it, you can take the screenshot of the device. While the higher version of Vibe UI, you can actually select the area to which the device will be taking screenshot of. So that feature is not applied in here, but you get a standard screenshot feature, which is nice. So that's it. Let's go into the other features into the settings and see what are the features they have provided in settings. And you can see they have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything similar to normal UI. And let's go into the display facility. You can see the battery level you can adjust, and the battery style you can adjust to the digital icon. And you can also turn on the daydream mode, and normal devices, nothing special in here. So let's go into the storage and see how much MB of RAM is available. So you can see the device puts 8 GB of internal memory, and 3.44 GB is available for the user, which is nice. Let's go to the application, and you can see the running application. The device actually has a 1 GB of RAM, and you can see it is having a 529 MB of RAM free. So usually the Vibe UI will take about 600 or 700 MB of RAM in normal Vibe UI, that means the high-end Vibe UI. But in this device it is only taking about 282 MB of RAM is only used on this device. So that means the Lenovo has optimized the RAM management, especially for this particular budget oriented device. So that's always nice to have a 529 MB of RAM on a 1 GB device. So that's always great. So that's pretty much about what we have here in terms of settings. And you can always adjust the app permission into the options in here. You can see you can adjust app permissions from directly in here, and you can go into the apps and you can adjust individual permissions scattered on each app. So that's it. That's pretty much about settings. And let's go back and check out the multimedia performance of the device, which is again a very important feature. So let me just go into the gallery, and let's have some test images here. So you can see this is actually a test image, and I must say the display quality is not the best, but for the budget price, I think this is some of the good display that I have seen. You can see the responsiveness is not that great, especially when you move your finger very fast. But in normal usage, I would say it's quite good. We'll be going detail into the touch input of the device. So this is not because of the processor, it's just because of the touch input. It is not that fast in terms of zooming, or if you do it very fast, it won't be able to respond to you. So that's a little issue in this device. That's it. So let's go into the viewing angles of the device. You can see the device has got a very nice viewing angles from almost the 3 angles, but when you move into the top angle, you can see that the images get distorted, it gets washed out of details. So the viewing angles are not uniform, especially from the top angle. The device does give a washed out image. So that's it. So let's go back and check out the 720p and 1080p video playback. So this is actually a 720p video, and let me just play it for you so you can see. And there is a little delay, as you can see. It's not very smooth. There is a little delay in buffering, so you can see a 2 second or 3 second delay. But once you have run the video, full length video, it will be getting much smoother. But when you play the video for the first time, you will get some delay in buffering. So that's it. So let's go back into the 1080p video playback. So you can see this is actually a 1080p video, and let me just show you that. So you see it's quite instant. I have actually run this video several times, that's why it is very smooth at this time. But it will take a little delay when you play 720p or 180p video. But I have actually run this video again and again for quite a while, so that's why it is getting that much smooth here. And you can see there is not much issue in buffering because of the curvature that they have provided on the back panel. It is not getting that much muffled. So that's it, and that's pretty much about the video playback capabilities of the device. And I don't have much to say about the multimedia performance. The device has got a decent processor. It is having a MediaTek MT6735 processor, so you won't be getting a high-end performance. But for this budget price, I would say it is a pretty nice processor. So now let's move on to the camera department of the Lenovo A2010. And you can see this is the UI of the device, and it is customized to version of Android. It is not stock Android. and I don't think the camera department is the biggest positive thing of the device. It is quite decent, that's what I can say. Obviously it's a budget device, so you can't really get a high-end performance camera on it. You could say it is actually having a 5 megapixel and a 2 megapixel cameras, so both are fixed focus cameras, so you can't really get a very high focused images. So it's a very decent camera, that's what I can say. Let me just take a quick snap here. You could see it does take, there is a little delay in capturing images. You could see so 1 second delay. So now we have captured, and you could see the detailing is not that great due to the lack of autofocusing or touch focusing. That the images are not that great in terms of detail, but it's still quite decent for the price. So that's what I can say at this point of time. So that's it. Now let's go into the options and see what are the features they have provided. As you can see, they have actually provided the face detection, smile detection, and all these. The zero shutter delay mode is there. You can actually turn it on, which makes the shutter speed much faster, and the voice capture, the face detection, the auto scene detection. So all these features are there. So if you want, you can use it. So now I have actually turned on the zero shutter delay mode. So let me just take a snap here. So you can see it's much more instant as compared to the previous images, but again it's not that focused. So the camera department is not the best, and they also provide a lot of features in here. You could see the beautification mode is there. You can also see the another mode that this is actually the motion tracking mode, another mode like the live photo mode. There's a lot of modes. The panorama mode is there, and you can also you could also get another, that means this is actually the GIF animation mode. So there is a lot of modes available, but again the camera quality is not the best in this price range. So that's it. So let's go to the video recording. So you could see this is the video recording, and you can actually capture images while recording. So simultaneous image and video recording is there, and it can record in 720p video. So you could see this is actually a video that I have captured, and if you just go into details, you can actually see the device is actually capturing images at 720p resolution. So you could see it's 720p video recording is there. So device can capture 720p videos, but initially when I got this device, it was only able to capture 480p resolution videos, but after an update of about 64 MP, it was able to record 720p videos. So that's nice. And then let's go into the front camera. And I would say the front camera is much better as compared to the primary camera. When you compare with other devices, the front camera does the job pretty nicely. There is not much issues, and they have also provided beautification mode, which again enhances the overall performance. So you can see it is giving a very decent quality for the price. It's actually 2 megapixel fixed focus camera, and if you compare similar cameras from Asus or any other brand, it's still good as compared to other devices. So the front camera is quite decent, that's what I can say, and it can also capture images, video at 480p resolution. And there is also optical image stabilization is available on both front and back camera, but again these are not as effective because it's only autofocus, it's only a fixed focus camera, so you can't really get very high-end images or videos from this device. So that's pretty much about the camera department. Now let's move on to the browsing performance of the device. So let me just take the browser. This is actually the Chrome browser. I would like to take the default browser. So you can see this is a default browser, and I have actually this is actually a website, and it loads up very fast. There is no issues. You can see the pin zooming is also quite responsive, but there is sometimes when you move it very fast, the device is not able to respond. But I think that's because of the touch input of the device. It's not because of the processor. The touch is not that responsive if when you move it very fast, but that's not the issue with the browser. It's the issue with the touch input of the device. So you could see the transition that we have provided on our website is fairly smooth, and if you compare it with the Zenfone 2 that I have here, you could see it is really very in sync. And as you could see, the transitions are very smooth on this Lenovo A2010. It's pretty equivalent to the Zenfone 2 in terms of transitions. I have seen Honor 4C and Lenovo and the Asus Zenfone 5. Both were having a jitteriness in the transition effects, but this device is able to render it very smoothly. And overall, the browsing experience was always nice in browsing, except the zooming issue. That's because of the touch of the device. So that's it. So let's move on to the other features. So let me just go into the. you have to double tap to get the minimized app, and you can just clear it right here. You can always clear all the apps from here, or you can drag it and close the apps individually. So that's all the same thing like the Vibe UI. So that's it. So let's go into the benchmarking and see what are the features in the benchmark, how the device performs in the benchmarking. Let's start with the Antutu benchmark. So yeah, we have gotten the Antutu, and you can see I have actually got a score of 20,709, which is a very decent score considering the price of 4,000. It is actually having a processor is MediaTek MT6735M, and the GPU is actually Mali T720 GPU. So the score is pretty decent for the price. So let me just go into the other things on this benchmark. So let me just go into the touch input. So you can see the device only supports 2-finger touch. That's the biggest issue on this device. That's why it is little laggy. So you can see it doesn't support any more fingers. It's only 2-finger touch. So the touch response is not that great in this device. So that's it. Let's go back and let's go into the info, and you can see the processor is actually MT6735 and the Mali 720 GPU, and resolution is 480x854. So that's pretty much about it. And let's go back and check out the Nina Mark 2 benchmark, which is another important benchmark here. So you can see the Nina Mark 2, and it actually scored 57.2 FPS, which is actually greater than what we have got from the Moto G3, which actually scored 55.1 FPS from the Snapdragon 14 chipset. So it is actually scoring a better in Nina Mark 2 scores compared to that. But the reason is that it's actually having a lower resolution display, so it obviously will getting a much better FPS rate. So that's it. So that's pretty much about the Nina Mark 2 benchmark. So let's go into the CPU set, which is again very important in terms of the processor and sensor benchmarking. So you could see the device actually has only 3 sensors: the accelerometer, proximity, and the light sensor. But I haven't it's given light sensor, but I don't think it is having the ambient light sensor, because there is no option for auto brightness settings in this device. So we can see only two sensors are there. There is no other sensors: the proximity and the accelerometer. So that's pretty much about the benchmarking of the device. And let's go on to the gaming performance, which might be a concern for some people because it's a budget device, so they would love to know how the performance in the moderate gaming. So this is actually a great game to test the performance in terms of gaming. So I have actually gotten the game, and it's fairly smooth. There is no lag or delay. So the only issue that I have faced on this device is with the touch input. Other than that, the device was really great in terms of performance in gaming, also in overall experience. So that's it. So let's move on to the review questions that people ask me about every review. The first thing is that whether this device support a notification LED. So let me show you that. So I'm going to connect the charger to the device, so you will see. And the device doesn't support any notification LED, so the device don't have a notification LED. And second question is that whether this device have LED backlit capacitive buttons, and you could see the device is not having LED backlit capacitive buttons, it is reflective buttons. So that's it. And the third question is that whether this device support a video calling from the dialer. So the device doesn't support video calling from the dialer, but you can depend on third-party apps for that. So that's it. And the fourth question is that whether this device supports Shift key, and we have already seen the device does support Shift key. And the fifth question is that whether this device support OTG connectivity. So let me just show you that, and I'm going to connect the OTG cable here, and you could see yeah, I have actually connected it, and you can see it doesn't showing any notification of the OTG cable, so the device does not support OTG connectivity. And the sixth question is that whether this device support video recording in Full HD. No, the device doesn't support video recording in Full HD, but you can record in 720p resolution from the primary camera. So that's it. And the final question is that whether this device support moving of apps into memory card. So let me just show you that. Let me just go into settings, and let's go into the apps. You could see, and let me just take an app here. You could see it doesn't support moving of apps into memory card. I couldn't find any option for that. So the device doesn't support moving of apps to memory card. So that's pretty much about the review of the Lenovo A2010. So now we have already answered the regular questions, and now it's time to move on to the pros and cons. And the first positive thing about the device is the UI. It is actually running on the Vibe UI and Android 5.1 Lollipop. So the UI is totally great. It doesn't consume much RAM. It actually consumes only 285 MB of RAM, which is pretty awesome for any device with 1 GB of RAM. So you would be getting about 583 MB of RAM free, so which is a very good thing, apart from having such a good customized UI with theme support and everything is there. So I would say the UI is the first positive thing. And the second thing is that the processor, the device actually got a MediaTek MT6735, and it scored pretty decent, like 57.1 FPS in the Nina 2. And I would say it's a very good processor in this price range to offer. So I would say the second positive thing is the processor. And the third thing is the display. Even if the viewing angles are not that great, you can't really see much pixelizations on the display. I would say the display quality is not that bad. So I would say the display quality is also a good thing on this device. And the final positive thing about the device is the battery capacity, which is a 2000 milliamp battery, which I think will be enough for a 4.5-inch device. And in our test with 1080p video playback in full brightness and full sound, the device consumed 5% of battery. But again, it's not that great considering that the Moto G3 actually consumed only 3% in the same test. But I think it's a decent performance. So that's it. And now let's go into the cons of the device. The first negative thing is that the viewing angles are not uniform in the display, especially from this angle. The display does look washed out. So that's the first thing. Second thing is the camera department. That both the front and back camera are fixed focus, and so the sharpness of the device is not that great. So I don't see this camera department as a very nice in this device. So I would say that's the second negative thing. And the third is there is no OTG connectivity on this device. So that's the third negative thing. And the fourth is that the device doesn't have any notification LED, as we have already seen. And the fifth and final negative thing is that the device can't move apps to memory card. That's pretty much about the review of Lenovo A2010. And if you have any more questions, you can just comment it below. I usually try to answer each and every question posted on my video. So that's it. And thanks for watching this video. And if you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you.